Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm April at Stunning Style, and I share classic outfit inspiration as well as style and beauty tips and tricks on my blog and on YouTube. I also created the Stunning Style Society membership group and the seasonal wardrobe guides. If you're familiar with my fall wardrobe guide, you know that this beautiful burgundy that I'm wearing on my sweater is one of the colors of the guide. I am obsessed with burgundy. If you wear a bold hue color palette, or if you follow the winter color seasonal analysis, you know that this burgundy is really, really hard to find. I call it a unicorn color. It can also be hard to identify. And last year I wrote a whole post about burgundy and exactly what makes burgundy and how to find the right one for this color palette. And I'll link that post down below. I'm still obsessed with burgundy. I'm so excited that I was able to include it in the fall wardrobe guide, and I wanted to create a makeup look to go with it because I just love this color palette. And a few weeks ago, I saw a video by one of my very favorite YouTubers. Her name is Dominique Sachse, and she is a news anchor out of Texas, and her channel is fantastic. She is so classy, so elegant, so knowledgeable, and I really, really enjoy her channel. She does makeup looks, among other things, and she was doing a video reviewing a product, and I loved her makeup, and I decided to try to recreate it myself. And I actually ended up with two different versions. This is the first version of it. She ended up doing her own tutorial because so many people requested it, and I totally understand why. She looked amazing, and I'll link her tutorial down below as well. She has beautiful, beautiful olive skin, and she looks amazing in the warm colors that look so terrible on me. And so when I watch her tutorials, I come back to my own beauty kit and look through it and try to find warmer versions and see if I can recreate her looks at home. And that's sort of what I did here. Okay, so let's get started with this full face makeup look. I don't have any product in my hair yet, so I'm going to pin my bangs back to make this easier. So I'm going to start with my foundation. I've already moisturized and everything. And I am actually using a new foundation. I've been using it for a couple of weeks and I really love it. In fact, I've had several of you ask me why my skin is so glowy and what's different. And this is the only thing that's different. It's the Rodan & Fields Radiant Defense Perfecting Liquid Broad Spectrum SPF 30. And the color I am using is Beige 2, which is the second darkest color. I started out getting the lightest color, and I guess I still have more color from the summertime than I realized because it made me look like a floating ghost head. So I'll just save that one for winter. And they also have this brush to apply it. I really like it. I really like the whole combo, and I've been very pleased with the coverage. It's very lightweight, but it also gives good coverage. I do take it up under and around my eyes. I don't have dark circles really, usually. And for me, this is enough coverage under the eyes. I always do everything in the exact same order. It has to do with efficiency. So I always do my foundation first, and then I always do my eyeshadow primer next. I'm using the Smashbox 24-Hour Photo Finish Shadow Primer. And the reason for this order of events is because you want to give your eyeshadow primer just a minute to set up before you apply your eyeshadow, or it'll be a little too tacky and your eyeshadow won't blend. And so instead of sitting here and waiting and, you know, a minute, I do the order of things so that I have other things to do while that's setting up. And the next thing that I typically do is my eyebrows. I'm using the Wonder Brow Brow Gel in Black Brown. And if you saw my September favorites video, this was one of them. It's waterproof and smudge proof and drift proof, so once I put it on, my eyebrows stay put. I just apply with short strokes and a light hand. Remember, you can always add more. If you put on too much, it's really hard to take it off. I'm not changing the shape of my eyebrows, I'm just making my eyebrows denser and fuller, like I have more hairs, and darker, honestly. My eyebrows and my eyelashes are blonde, and I do dye them about every 2 months. It hasn't been quite 2 months yet, but they're not as dark as when I first dye them. And then I'll just take this spoolie brush and run it through. If you do mess up and get any where you don't want it, you do need to clean it up fairly quickly, because once it sets, it's a lot harder to take off. I brush my eyebrows up to fluff them a little, but they come down. They don't stay up all day. It's just, maybe it's the southerner in me, you tease your hair more than you want it to be. So my eyeshadow primer has definitely set by now, and I'm going to apply my first eyeshadow. It's the ShadowSense in Pink Frost. This is the same company that makes Lipsense, which you know I'm a huge fan of. And this also needs to set up just a little bit. And so I'm using the same technique of doing it in between other things. And then I'm just going to spread it around with this large eyeshadow brush. And I do like to go up and under my eyebrows and then down here into the corners. It's a highlight. I was using a shimmery version of this in the summer, and in the summer shimmer feels more natural because we glisten. We're a little dewier in the summer. It's hot. There's typically more humidity, and I think matte looks a little better in the cooler months. That's my personal opinion, but for some reason switching to matte just feels like the right thing to do right now. I'm going to apply my blush. I'm using a blush from Maskcara. I've had this for a while. There's a bronzer, a highlighter, a color corrector, and a blush. I honestly don't know which colors they are. And then I have this brush that I got from her as well. It's a creamy blush, and I'll apply it to the apples of my cheeks and up toward my hairline. I know I say this over and over, but you know, always start lighter and add more. Build your color, because if you put on too much, you have to do a lot of correcting. Okay, so in most of my videos, this is usually my starting point because I'm trying to be brief, and I usually have my lip color on probably at this point. But so many of you wanted to see how I start things that I decided to show you that. So now I feel like my eyeshadow primer and ShadowSense have set, and I'm ready to apply more color to my eyes. And I'm going to be using these Urban Decay Full Spectrum palette. I've used this in just about every one of my makeup videos. It's a scary palette. It's very vibrant and bold. And it can look like clown makeup, to be honest, and a little frightening. But it doesn't have to be. I mean, actually it could definitely be great for costumes and whatever, but I use it all the time. The first color I'm going to use is this one right here, Paranoia. You could also use Alchemy here at the top, but maybe if you have a little more of an olive complexion, or if you just have more color to your skin than I do, or if you just want a little bit of a more intense look, I'm going to use Paranoia. And I have this fluffy eyeshadow brush, also from Maskcara. And I'm going to apply this actually just above my crease because I have hooded eyes. And if I put my makeup in my crease, you won't see it. So I'm creating a faux crease up here to make my eyes look more open and defined. Just kind of windshield wiper back and forth, and then swirl up a little bit from the corner. The next color I'm going to use is by MAC, and it's called Blackberry. And I have a second brush just like the first one, and I'm going to use the fluffy end again, but it is a different brush. And I'm not going to go all the way over, maybe halfway across, and then down here on the side. The last eyeshadow color I'm going to use is called Raw Power by Kat Von D. It's one of her Metal Crush eyeshadows. And I'm repeating myself, but these are highly pigmented. Just start with one tap. I'm using the small end of this brush. It's a precision eye brush by Bare Essentials. And I just tap it once, barely. And then I'm going to start at the corner here. I'm trying to make a line from the corner of my eye to the corner of my eyebrow. With all of my eyeshadows, that's where I'm aiming. And I'm making sort of a 7 here. And then I'm going to use this blending brush to blend it in. We don't want any harsh lines or edges. And now I'm going to line. I'm going to use a black liner, but you could also use navy if that feels a little less dramatic to you. But we're going to keep the line very thin and fine, so it's not going to be a huge winged cat eye. I'm going to use the Smashbox Always Sharp Waterproof Kohl Liner in Raven, which is black. What I really like about this pencil is that it always has a sharp tip. And it's really easy for me to get that fine line that I'm looking for. Because I have hooded eyes, I want to leave this space here light and open. There are definitely beautiful makeup looks that have a darker gradient all the way down, but for my everyday look, typically what I'm going for is keeping my eyes looking bigger and open, and this is generally what I do. And now it's time to do my lashes. Ever since I started using the Rodan & Fields Lash Boost, my lashes have gotten really long and curly, so I don't have to curl them anymore, but if you do, that's a step you should take right now. I'm going to use the Urban Decay Subversion Primer. My favorite mascara is actually the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, but that one dried out, and I had a brand new tube of Urban Decay Perversion in black, and so I've been using that because it's also a really good mascara, and I have it, so why not use it? Now that my lashes are so long, I can't apply my mascara like that or I'll get it all over my eyelid. So basically I blink through the mascara wand. And I don't do my lower lashes immediately after. I let the upper lashes dry a little bit or I will end up with a row of polka dots up at the top. So if you saw my September favorites video, you know that I shared some makeup wipes that I really love because they take my Lipsense off really well. If you read my How to Get Ready in 20 Minutes or Less blog post, you know that one of my top tips is I shower at night. And when I do that, I remove my makeup in the shower and things. And on nights that I don't do that, which is typically the weekend, I use those makeup remover wipes. But I just wanted to show you. So last night I washed my face in the shower, I exfoliated, I scrubbed, and I still have some Lipsense on my lower lip. And so now I'm going to use a cotton pad with witch hazel on it. to clean the rest of that off. You can see there was still a fair amount of lip color there, but starting off with clean, dry lips is really important when you're applying your Lipsense. So I always shake my Lipsense first, and I just hold all 2 or 3 colors that I'm using in one hand and shake together. I'm going to start with Purple Rain and apply 2 coats. And you can see it's a little pinker. To deepen it, I'm going to use 1 layer of Plum. The tube makes it look more brown than it is. You can see it actually has more purple to it. And now I'm going to apply the clear glossy gloss. I'm always really generous with my first coat of gloss for the day. And that is it. This is the Burgundy makeup look, and you can see that it goes perfectly with this sweater. It goes beautifully with turquoise and cyan and orange and red, and I just love to pair these together. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you give it a try. If you do, I would love for you to show me on my social media. You can go to my Facebook page, you can tag me on Instagram. I would love to see how this turned out for you. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you on Thursday with another lookbook.